So welcome back, everybody. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon right before the 4th of July, but we're still at it working on all this junk. This is a 1965 Ford Mustang inline 6-cylinder that came from very far away, came from Mexico, and so far we've done a lot of work to it. We've replaced the front brakes to disc brakes, and we kept the original 4-lug wheels just to keep it original, because we're not going to take out the 6-cylinder. We're not going to do too many modifications. We're going to keep it as stock as possible, and really the goal is just to get it running in its current state, because it does have other issues, but who cares? It's a classic car. We want to drive it. So today's goal is to make sure that this charges this. Now the problem we had with this vehicle, as you can see, that's a new alternator, new cables, right? The problem we had with this is when it was in Mexico, somebody did some wiring, and I'm not gonna call it hokey or whatever, but they did wire this up very interestingly, where this thing was actually running a GM alternator. So it wasn't charging. So what I did is I replaced this, and I went to plug it in, and all it had was 2 leads. And I know that these Ford alternators, they have a stator, a ground, and a field wire, and also that one right there, that's the one that goes to your battery, and those were all missing. So I started tracing the wire, and as you can see, that one's cut. There's some more tape there to another wire, and as you can see, there's plenty of wires everywhere. So I came over here to the regulator, and as you can see, the regulator is in the same poor state. Poor connections, a bunch of spliced wires. That one looks like it was burnt at one time. So instead of dealing with all this wiring issue, what I went and I grabbed a brand new harness. So this harness right here should power everything from the firewall right there. It goes to, I believe, is the headlights, the horn, this headlight, the alternator, and I think it goes up here too, and the regulator, which is the most important part of all this, because without this regulator, that alternator won't charge, because it's externally regulated on this one. Luckily, this harness is not very big, but it is, see, there's a yellow wire here. I have no clue. Oh, see how easy that is to disconnect? There is a ground over there that I gotta move. But you can see it's not very big, which is good for me, because first of all, I didn't want to rewire it, and now that it's taken apart, or halfway taken apart, I can go ahead and remove all these random wires. Where this vehicle was in Mexico, I'm pretty sure they weren't able to get stock parts. Here you can just drive down to Mustangs, etc., and pick up a whole wiring harness pretty easily. So pretty much ready to pull this out. That I gotta take the housings off to get to the headlights, and that should just disconnect there. Then I gotta go down to that loom, which goes under. It goes in the frame, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to pull that through. Shouldn't be that hard, because it comes out down there, and that actually goes to the alternator. So these headlights should be real easy to pull out. There's just a few screws here, 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 and here. Just in case you've never done this, very easy. You don't have to take them off, you're just gonna loosen them. Then you can spin the ring, except they use the wrong screw on this one, so I will have to take that one off. All right. Usually the screws are small enough to fit through that hole. See, this one's bigger. So what you do is, when it was in there tight, it's like this. You just loosen it up and spin it, and then this will pop off if you had the right screw. Now we can pull this connector out through this hole. And then we just do the same thing on the other side. Oh, there's more wires back here. Okay, so there's that. Oh, so it comes with it. There's one more connector. And I think that's the one. I'm pretty sure that's the one that goes to the, yeah, see. That one just goes to the turn signal. So here's this episode's tech tip. I have to feed this wiring loom through that hole to the other side of the radiator. So in order to do that, I'm gonna tape this, which is just some weed whacker cable. I'm gonna tape it to one of these, feed it through, then tape it to the new loom, and then pull it back through. This is just easier because you already have this wire going through. That should be enough. So. Just want to make sure you feed it through there, pull from the other side. There goes that cable. And you're coming out of here. Alrighty, there you go. There's the old wiring loom with the old voltage regulator. So let's see what goes where. That looks like it goes that way. This goes here. That's the other headlight. That's the other ground. That goes to the firewall. This is the one that I gotta feed through that firewall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape this back like this. You don't want to tape it forward because when it goes through that hole, you don't want it to snag. So if you do it like this, it's less of a chance of snagging. So, don't you hate that? You always lose the end of the tape. And I take my feed line right here. Tape it to this. I'm gonna tape it here. I don't want to disturb this new tape here. Just make sure you tape this pretty decently because you are going to be pulling on it a little bit, but since you're not really like going through any real big obstacles, it's just a hole down there. You should be okay with just, you know, just wrap it a few times like that. See how it's snagging on the, I could feel it snagging on these other connectors, which I probably should have taped down also. There you go. This is why I wanted to replace the whole loom, because any wires that are now, see, we got brand new connectors. Any wires that were cut are now back to original or back to factory. You know what I mean. They're back to new. This is my ground that I took off earlier. Put that back. Beautiful. Same with this side. This goes through here. And that goes there. That's for my generator. This is my lights. So plug those in on that side. Now I am going to put a grommet right there. So this wire loom is specific to this vehicle. So I should just be able to plug that into that connector right there in the firewall. And I would like to compare those wires to the old loom, but as you can see, you can hardly tell what color they are. I mean, most of them are there, so I'm just gonna double check it before I connect it. Actually, probably should have done that before I went ahead and replaced the whole thing. So that's blue and yellow. There's yeah, actually it's very close. If you see, hope it comes out on camera. That's blue, but but see how nice that one is. Then the next one is a, well, here it's yellow, black and yellow. It's definitely black. The next one's reddish, that one's red. Then it's green, that one's green. This is pretty much exactly what we needed, which is awesome. Don't have to wonder if something's gonna be wrong. It should all just be A-okay. All right, let me plug this in and then finish off. The reason why we started this is to get this thing to charge so we can finally drive it. It's easy to connect. It only goes in one way. So according to the interwebs, so this yellow and black goes to my battery, which is this terminal right here, and then this white wire goes to, see how it says field, so that goes there. This one goes here to that ground, and then this other ground apparently goes right here, and this connects to that, and the wires match up. So regulator is in. It was mounted funky because it had this one and this one had different holes in it, but I got both grounds in there. It's connected, alternator's wired up. Let's drop the battery in and see if we start any fires. Just like with the key.
Ready?
Try it. Pump it. Again. Yeah, that's enough. All right. Moment of truth. See if it's charging. Woohoo! It's working. $14 volts. Perfecto. Alrighty. Look. Yee-hoo! It works. Nice. On the inside, amperage gauge is perfecto. We barely got any gas, so we might drive it. Oh, look, the horn works. Ooh, dang. All right, cool. I'm gonna let the battery charge up because it was dead because it wasn't charging. All right, everybody. This is gonna be the first time this car has moved under its own power and stopped under its own power. Well, as you can tell, everybody, it is very dark, but it is done. Running and driving, charging system is working. Stops and goes now. Just one step closer. At least they can drive it down the road. But you probably can't see me, so let me get to it. Can't see me. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining me once again. Please like and subscribe if you're liking the content. I'll catch you guys on the next one.